I think from my perspective, the advice I would give a prospective student about looking at the EAPS program and trying to decide whether to enter that program or not would be not to hesitate. I spent several years trying to figure out if getting a PhD was right for me. Could I do it with my job, with my family obligations? How could I make this work? And you can't answer those questions in the abstract. You have to just start going. You have to take some classes, you have to figure it out as you get into the program. So I think that my advice for other students would be to not wait so long. If you decide this is the right degree for you, apply and get started. You'll be able to figure it out, you will work it out, it will take up a lot of time, but you'll manage that, and you can't figure it all out in the abstract. You just have to get started.
I couldn't get a job anywhere. I was sleeping on my sister's floor.
I was teaching kindergarten.
A city treasurer at a local municipality.
I was super broke, living in New York City.
Wondering about what I would like to do if I went back to school.
I had already been teaching in the business school for a long time.
When the opportunity came and I started to work at a school district, I researhed that route to become certified as a school business official.
I was working with basic education and some programs to improve learning and literacy.
People who were making decisions about children seemed to be farther and farther removed from the classroom.
When I got that admission letter, I was really excited because I knew that this was kind of the path that I'm supposed to take. I'm supposed to be on a college campus.
And so that's kind of how it played out.
UAlbany has solid academics for a good price. It has professors that care about the students.
A quality inside the faculty that I felt was unparalleled in the other programs that I was looking at.
I had already come through SUNY Albany and received a master's in developmental reading, and I had a tremendously positive experience.
Honestly, it's been the only place I've done my college and graduate education, so I'm loyal to the program. I know the professors and I know the strength and the name of UAlbany out in the field of districts. They know that UAlbany graduates who come out of this program are the best qualified administrative applicants.
After looking at a lot of different programs across the United States, what I found at the University at Albany's program was strong research-driven program, and I was looking for that.
I was really attracted to the K-12 and higher ed combination of the program. My interest was in both areas, and I really didn't feel like you could really understand one without having the other in a combined program.
It had policy analysis, leadership, and all the things that I was interested in.
It's the best value for the price. If you look at the other programs, they're quite expensive.
It was probably the most affordable option that I had. I looked at a lot of doctoral programs. It's a long process.
When I left college, I missed college so much. And I kind of said to one of my advisors, I want to be in college for the rest of my life. How can I do that? And she said, well, there are programs out there that you can be in a college setting, whether it's teaching, administrative, student affairs, and I actually knew someone that was in the EAPS program at the time, and so I reached out to her and I did a little research and I found that this is kind of a really great path, and so I just went for it. UAlbany is the only school I applied to.
The EAPS PhD program was amazing in its willingness to work with me as an individual.
It really is welcoming. Some professors I've had for multiple classes, I still see them now, and we have conversations, and it's really great.
Being a mom and coming down for the evening for classes, it was nice to have faculty who were understanding.
Anybody who enters this program is going to find a supportive community, not only with your instructors, but with your classmates.
The program is very welcoming. I'll say that the professors are extremely caring, that they look out for their students, and I still keep in contact with a few of my professors, regularly, and they're always wondering how I'm doing, and I've even reached out to some for advice on things. So I think that it's welcoming, and you build long-lasting connections with the professors in the program.
I just love the support I got from professors and from fellow students. It just make me feel more so comfortable, like I was coming to a family. That was very special for me to see how people were like trying to take care of me and all that I needed.
One of the things that makes it unique is the way the faculty are able to blend the backgrounds of so many different students and create a very vibrant classroom dynamic.
The local and the international combination of the program is also exceptionally unique. You have people who are working in local school districts and school systems and colleges and universities in the area, but you also have students who are coming from all over the world to share their experiences and best practices, and that is particularly unique to this program.
The global perspective it has. You have professors with international experience, you have a diverse body of students, and then you have this opportunity to exchange and to share the knowledge and experiences.
I think that ability to attract students from so many different backgrounds and then put them in a small classroom environment and nurture their ability to share their ideas and get students learning from one another. I think that's really what the University at Albany brings to the marketplace that clearly was very unique as I did my search of higher education PhD programs.
Our faculty members here, they really challenge you. They want you to think outside the box. They want you to bring in current events.
It combines well theory and practice because you have all the research, but you also get practical tools to make policies, to implement policies, and it just helps you to have a wider vision of what education is.
I love theory, I love ideas, I love debating those things, but I also know that when I'm in my work role, I'm required to produce and to achieve certain things for our students, and I think that the program has a nice blend of academics and practitioners to, really have there being a nice dialogue between theory and practice.
Most of the classes in the teens.
Average class size is about like 15. I don't think, some of the core courses are a little bit larger, but I would say the largest class I've ever had was like maybe 20, 25.
Some of the classes that I took in the beginning that were for all students, both higher ed and K-12 educational administration, I think those were maybe 15, 18 students.
The class size has been, for lack of a better term, has been on many occasions to be very intimate.
And that allows for a lot of hands-on activities, small group works, and to have really in-depth discussions with the professors on issues that students and administrators face on a daily basis.
It's important in a master's degree program because you really want to have those dynamic conversations. You really want to challenge one another. You really want to listen to what the professor has to say and ask for clarification.
And also to be able to get support for when you are struggling, because you're probably going to take a course here or there that's outside of your comfort zone.
A lot of times I was taking classes with the same people that had come through almost like a cohort. And it was really enjoyable because you didn't really have to get to know the people. You kind of knew who they were. It was a small group, and you were comfortable with them to share your thoughts and work together. A big piece of it is working in teams, either group projects, and it was really enjoyable, and I can still count on them today.
One of the things that I enjoyed in the program was its diversity.
Some students were from higher ed, some were from K-12, some were directly from the classroom.
Most of the other students in the program are teachers, but you do get some people that that do not have a background in education that are looking to get leadership programs either in state government or for the federal government.
Public institutions, community colleges, technical schools, four-year institutions. I found the diversity of backgrounds to be amazing.
Others were in private industry, so it was a really good group of people that brought different perspectives to the classroom.
In our classes, there have been a diversity of perspectives from across the education sector, and also in having the opportunity to meet students from around the world.
We bring in some unbelievable students from international higher education as well.
I took a class, it was a core course, there was 12 people in the class, and only 2 of us were from the United States. Everybody else was kind of from all over the world, and it made for a very interesting academic experience.
We have students from the United States, States. We have students from Latin America, from Asia, from Europe, from Africa. And also you have students that work, others that work full-time studying. And I think that diversity makes the program very rich, and the classes, because you share different experiences, different cultures, different ways of thinking, and that really opens your eyes.
I'll never forget in my very first class in 601, I'll never forget Dr. Robbins saying, you have to know the right questions to ask. And I think that thread carried throughout all of my coursework.
I think the biggest skill that I learned from the program is to be more reflective. As an administrator, you're sort of hit with a lot of decisions and things that have to happen in an instant, but then when you have that downtime to think about, did I make the best decision and what needs to be the next step?
Inquiring about changes in the educational field. It's always changing. You have to be responsive to those changes and be willing to learn as you go forward.
Policy analysis, I learned how to identify the problems, frame them, analyze the factor, the causes and consequences, and then develop the argument to make that decision. That has been a skill that I learned here, and it has been very useful in my career.
Ask questions as opposed to just rushing to judgment, and I think that that's a skill that's hard to quantify, but I find myself using it every single day as a principal.
I felt like I was ready. I felt like my advisor and my committee had prepared me for that. The dissertation defense seemed to go pretty well. They asked me some questions and then at the end congratulated me. And
you have to have a different approach to things, and all the research that you have to do, all the analysis. You have an advisor that is always looking for you to do your best. So it was a very enriching, and I learned a lot during that process.
The unique part of this experience of going through the program was that I was able to draw from a domestic perspective of higher education here in the United States, but also look at the global perspective of education around the world and how it's adapting and changing to meet students' needs everywhere.
UAlbany graduates are known for their abilities, for their skills. Our program is rigorous. There are a lot of courses that are not easy. We have to do a comprehensive 1.5 year internship, so all those things are known by employers, and they actually seek out UAlbany grads because of the strength of our program.
You're not just taking higher ed courses, you're taking K through 12 courses and you're taking higher ed courses. And when I went into admissions, that really put me at an advantage because I was going into high schools, working with high school students, working with high school guidance counselors, and I was also working on a college campus. And so having that educational background from both of those sectors just made me feel really prepared.
To have this PhD really helped me to get this position, because when I came back to my country, and the Minister of Education at that time heard about the studies that I have done, he called me. And then I had an interview. And when he saw all the, the preparation and how the knowledge and skills, and he said that that was what he needed and asked me to join his administration and to be in charge of the evaluation of the country.
The research, the teaching, the mastery of subject area, and publishing and writing. So all of those components came together for me pursuing my job. So it was very easy to interview.
There was a great deal of flexibility around my internship. So SUNY Albany and the district that I was employed in at the time, and the Board of Education worked together to craft a pretty original internship experience where I was actually able to be the building principal for 10 school days throughout the year. It allows you to really have a strong sense of administrative practice before you start applying for jobs.
The faculty are so encouraging, and when they see something in you, they let you know. They want to keep you around, and they want to inspire you to keep learning. And it's a really nice feeling to know that the faculty believe in you.
I came and got my PhD later on in my career. They allowed me to customize the PhD program so that I was taking classes that were really additive to me, things that I wanted to do. They allowed me to do a couple of independent studies that I created around my own research interests.
My favorite memory is when Dr. Schiller just kind of looked at me and she said, "You should think about being in the PhD program." And you're just, and as a student, you're like, what?
The most important piece is really the mentorship.
A lot of the professors in the program are authorities on subjects. They're internationally known. They're also on the cutting edge of presenting the knowledge and research on school leadership and theory, and I think that's important. And one thing that separates us from the other school leadership programs in the Capital District is our professors are those authorities on the topics and really know what they're teaching.
The reason I love this program so much is because I never thought that I would ever be in a PhD program, ever. But because that one faculty member said to me, you know, I think you might be good at this, or you seem like you'd be a really great student in the PhD program, that's why I'm in the program.
I had a lot of support from him, a lot of guidance. I felt very comfortable asking him questions or asking for orientation, and he will guide me, he will show me resources, materials.
Sometimes when you don't know what you're going to do in a certain situation, to have someone that's been there that you can reach out to is not something that you always find, you know, that can really help you. And Darlene is really concerned with how I do personally, and I think she's like that with all of her students.
There's so many opportunities in this program that I took advantage of that I did not know coming into the program. I was able to travel to Dubai. I was able to travel to Malaysia. I was able to travel to Doha, Qatar, and see universities around the world. I would have never imagined I'd have those opportunities when I first came into this program, and the faculty here helped create those opportunities for me.
So in the end, I was very pleased with how much I was treated as an individual and how much my faculty, and particularly my faculty advisor, worked with me to customize my educational program of study so that it really fit me. It took advantage of my background and all the years that I'd already had in higher ed, and it allowed me to broaden that in the ways that were really significant for me.
I'm incredibly thankful for those opportunities in this program.
And so it's really inspiring, it's really, you know, scary, it's really exciting. And I think that with the support of the faculty, I don't think I would have ever thought of this being an option for me. So if you're looking for support and motivation, you know, it's a really great place to be.
Thank you.